Good morning. Today is a non-working day, aka a crochet day, so I thought we could spend the next couple of days together. So it's around 11 AM and this morning I went to the gym and then I went to the shop to pick myself up a fun little drink because I left the house, so of course I have to get myself a fun little drink. Today was a very boring gym day. I just did some cardio. I did like 25 minutes on the Stairmaster, which is hell, and then I did a 5k cycle. And now I'm showered, I'm dressed, I'm clean, I'm back home. I probably should have washed my hair, but I'm going to the gym tomorrow and I don't want it to get all sweaty and gross again, so I usually wash on Fridays, and I like to stick to some semblance of routine. But I think now that I have a full fringe, my hair kind of is getting a little bit greasier than normal, particularly that I'm going to, especially that I'm going to the gym. I don't have much to do today, which is great. It's music to my ears. I think I only have like one chore to do, and that is to put on a load of laundry and to put my laundry away. But it's not super important, so I could do that tomorrow. So technically I could have a no chore day and a no like I have to do things day, which is great because I feel like I've not had one of those days in so long. Like I actually just want a nice long crochet day. Also, my partner is working in the office and then he's going to dinner with some of his friends like straight after work, so I literally have the entire day and the evening, so I could really have like a great crochet day today. So in terms of projects that I'm working on, if you caught my last vlog, which, you know, feel free to go check it out, because if you enjoy this vlog you're probably going to enjoy my other ones. But I am working on like a kind of Damson Madder inspired top. You know those tops that you see with like the elasticated like shirred kind of detailing, the scrunchy kind of tops. I really wanted to like recreate my own version, but like in crochet, you know, without the elastic. So what I've done is created this ribbing which is going to act as the elasticated part, and then I'm currently working on the front. I've done the back, and then I've done this really cute like kind of ruffly edge with this faux mohair. Both of these yarns I did get from the charity shop. This one is a merino wool. It is really nice. It's not my usual color, but I still think it will suit me, but it's not something that I would typically go for. But this was super cheap. It was like £5 for I think like 10 or 11 50-gram skeins, which is an absolute bargain. So I was like, I'm gonna get this, even though I don't know what to make with it. And I've had it for ages, so it feels nice to actually kind of like put it to good use finally. The stitch that I'm doing is this really beautiful, almost like lemon peel-esque stitch. I believe it's called the Suzette stitch. I'm pretty sure it's the Suzette stitch, but it's really lovely. It's working up really nicely in this fine yarn as well. And then this yarn I also got from the charity shop as well, and this yarn is a little bit more kind of unique. It's quite funky. It's like a, like I said, it's like a faux mohair, so it's kind of got this like lacy, almost like halo effect to it. It's got flecks of, let me just stop moving it around so you can actually see it. It's got flecks of purple, flecks of blue, and then it has this really nice kind of like smoky pink base to it. So I love the combination of these two yarns, because particularly when I got this yarn, I had 3 50-gram skeins that I got from the charity shop, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but this looks fun and I'll do something with it. So it feels nice to kind of finally put both of these yarns to good use and know that it actually looks really cute together. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the top. Like I said, I've done the whole back panel. I'm working on the front panel at the moment. I've done all of my increases, and you know, I've still got a decent amount to go. I am a little bit concerned about the amount of yarn I have left. Obviously, like I said, it's from the charity shop, and both of these yarns are discontinued yarns, so it's not even like I can buy them again. And the idea is to make it like a little kind of cap sleeve t-shirt, and I think I should have enough. I'm a little bit undecided on what to do with the neckline, because most of the kind of like sheared tops that I've seen have like a straight neckline, which, you know, from a crochet perspective would make my life a lot easier. I don't have to do any decreases or any kind of anything fancy with the neckline, but obviously that means I'll use up more yarn because it's going a lot higher. I have also seen like the proper kind of Damson Madder tops with these like very square necklines and these big kind of folded out collars, almost like a sailor top, you know, like those kind of that kind of style. And then I was thinking that this yarn would look really cute as the collar, but again, this yarn is limited. So I'm currently working on one skein at the moment. I only really started this relatively early on last night, so I've only done a few rows. You can kind of see where I've connected it, maybe even 2 or 3 rows with this yarn. So I basically have like a full 50-gram skein, and then I have 3 more of these, so that's 150 grams to finish off the rest of the front panel and then to do my cap sleeves. And then with this yarn I have just over 50 grams, so it's literally 50 grams and like some change, so maybe like 70 grams, 65 grams of this yarn that's left. So I don't know, we're gonna see how we go. And I think the neckline will depend on how much yarn I have left. So once I kind of approach where I would potentially drop off to do a square neckline on the front panel, I can kind of assess how much yarn I have, because both necklines are cute, you know, both necklines are completely achievable, they're both cute, they're both gonna look really nice, and I like both of them. So I'm not really kind of like married to one or the other, so I think it will just be dependent on how much yarn I have, which is fine by me. I don't mind. I think I will have enough yarn to finish the piece, I just don't know which version I'm gonna end up with, basically. I'm also currently working on this little bag. I'm doing like a whole series on my crochet graveyard and like reworking the yarn or doing something with those pieces, because I hate waste and I don't want to waste the yarn. And I haven't actually worked on this in a little while because I'm using one of these horrible, if you use these hooks, I don't know, I just love yourself, get some ergonomic hooks, because I hate these hooks so much. I feel like every newbie crocheter, every crocheter owns these hooks, and the only reason I'm using it is because I don't have an ergonomic 10mm hook. I also don't like, I think these are tapered hooks. Are these the tapered ones where they've got the kind of like real hooky bit? I think I like inline or something. Inline hooks is usually what I go for. But this hook, combined with the fact that this is a very chunky yarn and they're very tight stitches, it just hurts my hand to make this. So I think maybe I'll try, because I've just been avoiding it, because I'm like, yeah, it's me. I think I'll maybe try and do like a couple of rows a day intermittently throughout whatever like project I'm doing at the time, because I do really want to make this bag, and I think this bag is going to look super cute, but I just don't want to be in pain. So that's currently what I'm working on, and the kind of general agenda for today. I do have a very strong urge to start a Christmas present project as well, and I'm trying to like stop myself from doing it, because this project will not get finished if I start crocheting something else, you know, and the bag will never get finished. So I'm very much like, and I don't usually have more than one whip. Like if you follow me from TikTok, or if you know me from TikTok, you know that I only have one whip on the go pretty much at all times. I finish that project, then I move on to something else. So I don't really want to bring, having two is actually quite stressful to me, so I don't really want to bring like a third one into the mix, although I do really want to start that project. But I will start it as soon as I finish this top and maybe the bag, but the bag can be worked intermittently with the Christmas present project. And the Christmas present project that I want to start is for my baby sister. She's 22, but there's a 9-year age gap between us. So she's 23, I don't fucking know. She's grown, but she will always be my baby sister, okay? And I will always refer to her as my baby sister, okay? If you're an older sibling, especially with a big age gap, it's a very common thing. Anyway, I want to crochet her a sweater, and it's so funny because I messaged my mum to say like, I need you to measure her, or I need you to like measure a jumper that she owns, so I can obviously get the sizing right, because we are different sizes. She's smaller than me. And so I sent my mum like a little picture of what measurements I needed, you know, like from the shoulder to kind of her hips, because she doesn't really wear cropped stuff, like around her bust, the circumference of her arm, that sort of thing. So I sent my mum like this kind of list of measurements, and I put it on like a picture of a person so she could see like where I was referring to. And she was like, I'm just gonna post a jumper that she already wears, that she likes the fit of. And I was like, okay, cool. And when she said post, I thought she meant like she'll post the information in the chat to me. You know, my mum's an old lady, like I was like, okay, but she physically posted me the sweater, which I think is crazy. But I was like, okay, this is actually the most helpful thing you could have done. But I am like, you could have just sent me the measurements, you know, but whatever. It was very sweet of her. So now I have a sweater that my sister fits her well, she likes the fit, you know, and I can use that as my kind of measurement guide for crocheting this sweater. And at least I know I'll get the measurement correct. She also sent me 2 scratch cards in the post, which is very cute. She's just a funny person sometimes, but I won £2 on it, so hey. Yeah, so that's just a little tangent on the project that I want to do. I definitely want to make her a sweater. I got some really nice yarn from Drops. I think it's, I can't remember the name, but if you have a look at one of my past vlogs, I did like a yarn haul and it's in that haul. But it's a really beautiful yarn. I think it's, I want to say it's bamboo and alpaca. It's alpaca wool and something else. But it's a really beautiful yarn. It's kind of this like dusky, smoky kind of pink, like a dark pink almost. Really, really beautiful yarn. I'm really excited to work with it because I've never worked with that version of Drops yarn before. And I definitely want to make her a sweater. I'm unsure what kind of sweater, what kind of stitch. I was thinking actually of doing her a zip it sweater, but not doing this same stitch, doing a slightly different stitch but having it zipped up, because she does like this kind of 3/4 length situation. But I'm not sure, I haven't decided yet. So I think because I'm unsure and I'm undecided, I need to kind of like research some stitches, look into what shaping I want to do, actually have like a plan in mind before I start it. So actually I've just convinced myself to definitely not start her project yet, her jumper yet, which is fine. Great, thank you, me. So also, this is the Zip It sweater. This is a sweater that I'm having pattern tested currently. It's a really, really nice 3/4 length sweater, like zip sweater, and it's got this really beautiful stitch. It's kind of like the star stitch, but not as complex and not as much of a yarn eater. It's a really, really cute sweater. It's made to measure, and yeah, you could, oh, also you can wear it as a roll neck. So if you do the zip up all the way, you can fold the neckline over and have it as a roll neck, which I think is really cute. I love a 2-in-1, but I love the fact that I can apply a zip to crochet, because I very rarely see it, but then when I do, there's all these like crazy hacks where it's like burn a fork and then stab some holes into the plastic, and I'm like, that's insane. There's so much, there's such an easier way to attach a zip to crochet, so you don't need to be doing all that. And I do show you obviously in the pattern how to apply the zip, but yeah, it's currently being pattern tested, so keep your eyes peeled. Give me a follow on any social media, subscribe to my channel on here, you know, follow me on TikTok or Instagram, because you'll either see updates or you'll see when the pattern has actually been released. But I'm sure I won't, I'm sure I will mention it at some point. But yeah, I really love the sweater and it's really comfortable and it looks really cute with my outfit today. Very pastel, very cute, love it. Okay, I think that's enough talking for now, so I'm going to go and crochet. I might make myself a little tea. It is feeling very autumnal today. It's very chilly. I've got the windows open. I love being inside and being a little bit cozy with the windows open. It's like my favourite time of year. Yeah, and I'm going to crochet. I'm probably going to watch a film. Maybe I'm thinking like the Addams Family Values, because I haven't watched that one yet. Or like Sleepy Hollow. Sleepy Hollow kind of makes me feel like a bit weird. It like gives me the heebie-jeebies a little bit. Maybe Sleepy Hollow if I'm feeling it, but I have all day, so maybe both. I just, you know, live my dream and watch both of them. Okay, over and out. So I just realised that I downloaded a version of the Addams Family that was in a different language, so I'm waiting for the new one to download so I can watch it. But I thought I'd do like a little kind of get to know me, I guess, because I realised unless you kind of know me from TikTok or whatever, any other social media, I've just jumped into posting vlogs, so you probably know nothing about me. So I figured I would, you know, share some facts about myself. Firstly, my name is Rajan. I will put the spelling up here somewhere. I don't specifically share my name because I am just so sick of people mispronouncing it, and I think where obviously sharing it on social media specifically, it's quite hard for me to correct people on the spelling unless I'm talking to them in person or having like a direct interaction. I was born in London and moved out of London to a small town near Cambridge, which is where I grew up. I have 2 sisters. I am the middle child. My older sister is 3 years older than me. My younger sister is 9 years younger than me, so there's quite a big age gap between us. I went to the University of Bournemouth, but I did my course in Salisbury and I was there for 3 years, and I worked part-time at New Look whilst I was there because I was a typical broke student. When I left uni, I moved straight to London because I was born there and I really, really wanted to move back. The town that I grew up in was not a very nice place for me to grow up in, and the place that I went to uni was not very diverse, so I just wanted to be around more people who looked like me. I started off living with a friend who I no longer speak to, and we lived in southeast London, specifically kind of near Lewisham, and then when I met my partner and we moved in together, we moved into like the southwest area, specifically Tooting. We moved out of London a few years ago. I'm obviously not going to disclose where I live, but we moved out of London and I love it here. I love this area. It's got everything I need. I've been with my partner for 8 years. We actually met via Tumblr. We were Tumblr mutuals for a really long time, and then we were friends for a really long, like kind of in real life friends for a really long time, and then we got together in 2016. I started crocheting in January of 2023, and I actually started off kind of in the fibre arts by accidentally knitting myself a blanket, because I saw somebody on TikTok do a tutorial on how to like hand knit a super chunky blanket. And when I say hand knit, I mean like they weren't using needles, they were like pulling up the loops, and that's how I accidentally stumbled into the fibre art. I crochet pretty much every day, whether it's for a few hours, whether it's a day like today where I'll be kind of crocheting on and off all day. I will crochet every single day. I find it really relaxing. I love the progress of me making my own clothes, especially as a plus size person, because the choices out there are fucking dire for us, you know. So I love this craft so much. I do it all the time. I feel like something is missing if I haven't done it, you know. It keeps my hands busy, it kind of stimulates my brain, it makes me use math, you know. I think I've become a little bit smarter, I understand garment construction. Yeah, I just thoroughly enjoy it. I love it, love it, love it. In terms of like my interests outside of crochet, there's a lot of stuff that I'm interested in, but specifically it is film and TV. I am very much into films and TV, as I'm sure you can probably tell if you've watched any of my other vlogs. I am a film production graduate. I studied film production and cinematography at uni, and I absolutely love watching films and TV shows. And it's one of those things where saying that watching films and TV shows as your hobby sounds a little bit crazy, because it's like, well, yeah, like most people will watch films and TV, but I'm like, no, I'm like really into it. Like, I'm really into watching TV and films. I don't think you understand. So yeah, that's kind of like my hobby and my interest. I love also recommending films and TV to people, especially when they're films and TV that I love, and kind of, especially if I know the person, I know that they're gonna love it. What else can I say about myself? I have a rabbit who I have featured on here before. His name is Lassie, and that is Lassie like the drink, the Indian drink, not Lassie as in lassie like the dog, okay? He also gets his name mispronounced all of the time, and it's very annoying. He had a brother called Laddu, and Laddu is an Indian sweet, but he sadly died a few years ago, and it was a very horrible, traumatic experience. But Lassie is doing great, he's doing fine, he's super cute. He kind of has the personality of a cat. He's very much like, I want attention on my own terms, and I will only get the attention when I am ready for it, which I respect. I respect that. I am autistic, and I discovered that I was autistic when I was 30 years old. I'm currently 32, so it's only been a few years of me kind of realizing that I'm autistic. I am self-diagnosed. I will probably not pursue a formal diagnosis, just because the sheer amount of stress I feel like I will have to undertake to have to advocate for myself and to even just get a fucking doctor's appointment. I just don't think it's worth it. I think it would be different if I maybe had ADHD and I, you know, needed medication, or if medication would help, but you don't really get medicated with autism. They just give you kind of like pamphlets on how to deal with it. And I truly believe that I'm autistic because I made myself a list on my phone, because I really kind of like gaslit myself. I made myself a list on my phone into all of the reasons why I thought I was autistic, as in from childhood, like from as far back as I can remember to now, and there were about 70 different things on this list. So I think it's fair to say that I am definitely autistic, even though I'm self-diagnosed, and there is complete validity in self-diagnosis. So if you disagree, you disagree, but there is, and I am autistic. So I do have special interests. They are, unsurprisingly, movies. The Jurassic Park franchise, the Scream franchise, the Fast and Furious franchise. I'm also really into astrology. I'm really into crystals. I'm really into like stop motion animation. I'm obviously really into crochet. That has 100% become one of my special interests. But yeah, that's kind of all I can think of for now. If you have any questions, you know, feel free to drop them in the comments and I can answer them on my next vlog. But I feel like that's a good amount. My film is probably downloaded now, so I'm gonna go check that out.
Marvelous. I'm going to have a baby. Right now. Hello. How are you doing? Are you good? Hi. You want some attention? Yeah. You're so cute. You're so cute.
Wednesday's about to be special age, and the girl has only got another boy. On the side.
So I've just had some lunch. I'm still watching The Addams Family, but I just had some leftover pizza for my lunch, and I decided to do like a couple of rounds on my bag. I think I've done 2 rows. I'm actually not sure how many rows I had to start, but it's looking good. It's like pretty decent size, you know, so yeah, I think I'm progressing well. It is hurting my hands now, so I'm gonna have a little break. I just kind of started off this row, but yeah, I'll have a break. Pretty decent size. Like, I reckon I'll be able to fit like a good amount in here, but I think I probably maybe want to just do like another, basically double of this height sort of thing, so it sits about here. I think that would be quite a good size, and then I've got my hardware to put on, and yeah, just cracking on. I thought I'd do a little try on because I've just finished a skein of yarn, and I think this is looking so fun. So I obviously increased on the bust area so it would fit over my boobs, and I think if I was to do the kind of square neckline, I'd probably want it to sit like basically just where the base of my necklace is. Yeah, like I'd want it to be relatively kind of just like middle of my chest, not particularly high, not particularly low, and then I would want it to kind of square off here and then go up like that. I don't know how I'm gonna do yarn wise. I've got 3 50-gram skeins left, and obviously I need maybe like 1 and a bit to do the sleeves. I reckon because I'm now over my bust, I can probably do a few decreases on the end and on in kind of towards the middle, so I might do a little bit of decreasing as I go up, just so it becomes a little bit more fitted, because this stitch is quite stretchy vertically and horizontally, so I'm not kind of too worried about it being like tight because it's got stretch to it. But yeah, I think it's looking really good. I think the whole kind of vibe is going where I wanted it to go, which is good. Like the kind of ribbing working as the elasticated part, this little kind of frilly bit as well, and I think it sits really nicely as well. So yeah, I'm just going to continue on doing this top. I showed you that I did a couple of rows of my bag. I might try and do a couple of rows like later on, because I think it's only like 3 o'clock right now. So yeah, I might try and do a couple more rows of the bag maybe in like another hour or so, because as much as my hands aren't currently hurting crocheting this, I obviously went from crocheting the bag straight to crocheting this, so I do want to kind of give myself a little bit of a break in between. I have had my lunch and I finished watching Addams Family Values. It's just such a great film, it's so good, and I definitely realised that I had my queer awakening, or at least one of them, with Joan Cusack as Debbie in Addams Family, and I now realise why I love that film so much, particularly her character. So it's all making sense, it's all making sense. But I'm currently now watching Curse of Bridge Hollow, or something like The Curse on Bridge Hollow, something like that. It's a film on Netflix, and it's fun so far. It's reminding me very much of like Disney Halloween movies, very kind of like Halloween Town and Twitches kind of vibes, but I'm enjoying it. I think it's fun. I think it's just like a fun, silly, cheesy little Halloween movie. Yeah, and then after that, I'm not too sure what I want to watch. I have like a bunch of films that I want to watch today. Some spooky, some normal films. So yeah, I'm just going to continue on with that, and I'll keep you guys posted. Okay, I feel like I have a migraine coming on. I literally have to let my hair down, because you know sometimes when your hair is tight and you feel a migraine coming on, and it's like makes it so much worse. So it's actually not dark outside, but I've closed the curtains. That's why the lighting is terrible in here. So I'm gonna just sit in a dark room for a little bit, maybe watch Hotel Transylvania 3 in the dark, because I can feel it. It's like here, and I can feel it moving over to my eyes, and that typically for me means a migraine is coming. So I'm gonna try and like catch it in its tracks before it develops into an actual migraine, because it's gonna be awful otherwise. So I've kind of stopped crocheting for the evening. I've taken like a dose of painkillers. Hopefully they kick in and I don't end up with a migraine, because migraines kind of scare me, because when I do get them, I get them bad, and I get them for like a long period of time. So fingers crossed that will not actually happen and I've kind of caught it before it can, you know, develop. But yeah, so I'm clocking off for the evening. Most likely, it's very unlikely that I'm gonna feel magically fine. But yeah, I'm clocking off for the evening and I'll hopefully see you guys tomorrow. I'm alive. I did have to just deal with my headache yesterday. Thankfully it didn't kind of turn into a migraine, which I am just very grateful for, because yeah, migraines suck so bad. But yeah, I chilled out for the rest of the evening. I did get like a second wind crochet wise, but I just had to turn like all of the lights off basically, and I just watched some TV but like turned the brightness down quite a lot, and I feel a lot better now. I didn't go to the gym this morning. It's like 3 o'clock today, like right now. I didn't go to the gym this morning. I had some errands to do like kind of at home, and we needed to grab some dinner for tonight because it's cleaning day today, and I've just done some laundry and some like chores around the house, had some lunch, but I haven't actually like started crocheting yet. I washed my hair, I showered, you know, so I've just been doing like boring stuff. I haven't actually done any crochet, but here's like a little update on like where I left things last night with my top. And I basically decided to split off for the neckline, so I've gone for like a very square neckline. Which side is done? This side is done. So yeah, so I've still got like I think like 2 rows left to do on this side, but it's a very kind of square neckline. I'm really unsure actually if I want to do the neckline, because part of me is now thinking that I want to do it straight necked, but I don't know, I just can't decide if I'm gonna have enough left, because this is all that I have left of this one skein, and then I have 2 50-gram skeins, but I still want to do some sleeves, and I've got quite big arms, and typically for like t-shirt sleeves I need like maybe 40 to 50 grams for like a t-shirt sleeve for each sleeve. So I am thinking that the 2 skeins I have left is going to be enough for the sleeves, and then just to kind of go around the neckline, obviously join up the sides. So part of me is like, don't push my luck essentially, and just kind of deal with the neckline, or do the neckline, because I do like both options. I like this kind of square neckline with the big collar, and as well a straight one. So I'm easy with both, but part of me is now thinking, do I want the other one? I'm also thinking that maybe I've done the back piece a little bit too short, because when I kind of hold this, because this side is the side that's done, when I kind of hold this up at the top of my shoulder, the neckline is very high, and if I want a collar here, I don't want the collar to kind of be like in my face, especially when it's this kind of fluffy like faux mohair kind of wool. So I don't want it to be like here, because I think that would like bother me and overstimulate me. So I'm thinking with the kind of additional skeins that I have, which I think will be enough for the sleeves and a little bit extra, I might just add a little bit of length to this side and this side, just so the neckline sits around here. So I probably wouldn't need that many more rows, maybe like 6 to 8 more rows, because I don't want the neckline to be as high as it currently is. And I don't think I'll have to add any height to the back, because obviously where I've got my bust, it kind of shortens everything a little bit anyway, with the fact that it has to go over my bust, whereas at my back it's flat, so I don't need the extra length there. So yeah, so that's my kind of thinking currently. Everything's going well. I'm very nearly finished with the front panel, whether I add more length or not. I reckon I'll be able to get that done by today, and then seam up the sides, and then hopefully get like started on doing the sleeves, because I plan on doing the sleeves in the round. But it's going really, really well. I really love how it's looking, and I think actually now that I've talked about it and said it like out loud, like just kind of extending the shoulder parts a little bit so the neckline is a little bit lower, I think the collar is actually going to look really cool. Like the very big square kind of collar with this yarn is actually going to look really good. So talking it through has actually made me a lot more excited for it. But that's where I'm at with the top. And then here is where I'm at with the bag. I can't remember if I showed an update of where I was at with the bag, but I kind of did like 2 or 3 extra rows, so it's definitely increasing. This is kind of the inside, and I've got my hook in there, but this is the inside, and you can kind of see that there's like a base to it, and it's quite structured, which is what I want. I don't want it to be kind of like floppy. I want it to be quite firm and structured, which is why I'm using a smaller hook, so that, you know, there is some tightness to it. I don't want drape, which is so abnormal for me because I'm so used to only crocheting clothes, that I always want drape, of course, because I want it to kind of fit nicely on me. So it feels really weird to not want drape and to want the stiffness, you know. It feels really strange, but it's going well. Like I said, I haven't crocheted at all today, so I'm probably going to do like maybe a couple of more rows intermittently throughout the day and like the evening and stuff. It is cleaning day today, so I will have to unfortunately clean my flat, but it's fine. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with the bag. I think this is gonna look really cute. Like, I'm just kind of imagining it sort of, because this is the kind of length of the strap that I want. I think this is gonna look really good. Or if it's like, because the strap that I have can be extended to like a shoulder bag or like a crossbody, and I think even as a crossbody I usually sit mine around here. I think this would look really cute. But yeah, it's going good. So I'm gonna start kind of actually crocheting today. I'm currently watching Sleepy Hollow because I'm just in the mood for like a spooky little film. I'm wearing all black today as well, which is not normal for me. It's very abnormal for me to be wearing all black. It feels very strange, but I mean it looks good. Like, I look cute, but if you know me, there's always a pop of colour somewhere. I suppose it's in my hair today. That's where my colour is coming from. But yeah, I'm watching Sleepy Hollow because I want to feel a bit spooky, and then I may watch another little spooky film. I really want to start watching the Scream movies. Scream is one of my special interests, like the whole franchise. I love those movies, and I haven't actually watched them yet this year. Usually by now I would have at least watched all of them once or twice sometimes, but yeah, I haven't watched them all yet. So I think I want to maybe start Scream 1 and then, you know, work my way through the franchise up to Scream 6. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, and I will keep you updated. Okay, I've just finished watching Sleepy Hollow, and this is kind of how far I've gotten with the top. So I finished off just kind of extending the shoulder part, which is a lot better, and then I seamed up the side on one side. I did accidentally go all the way to the top and then remembered that obviously I'm working in the round for the sleeves, so I've kind of undone it just a little bit. I might undo it just a little bit more, just because it's a tiny bit tight on the armpits, but this was just like a guesstimate, you know. And then I have seamed up the shoulder parts as well, and here is how the top is looking so far. I think this is really cute. I wasn't expecting to like it this much. Like, I knew I was gonna like it. I didn't think I'd like it this much. I also didn't think it would fit me as well as it is currently fitting me. So I'm really looking forward to this. I think this is gonna be so cute. I think particularly over my bust, and if you're a busty person, like, you know how hard it is to kind of get something that fits on your waist but also is very nice and snug on your bust. And this is actually really good. Sorry, but like, my boobs look amazing. They do, it's just fact. They look so good. So I'm yet to kind of just seam up this side together, and then obviously I'll work on the sleeves, but this is looking really good. And then obviously I'll use this yarn for the collar, which I think will just kind of like tie everything in really nicely. But the fit is fitting. Like, I'm honestly a little bit like speechless. Like, I didn't expect it to kind of fit over my boobs as well as it did. And the funny thing is that I did no maths. I did no maths because I was gonna do maths, because obviously I did my back panel first, and I was gonna like do the gauge and then try and do the measurement to like make sure it fit over my bust, but I didn't do the maths because I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna fucking wing it. And I winged it, and it turned out so good. So basically, fuck maths. No, I'm joking. You, like, maths is important, but not to me, because I somehow got the most perfect fit without doing any maths. I'm really impressed. So yeah, this is the back, and I think this is really cute. It would also look really cute just with no sleeves. I don't know what else to say other than this is cute as shit. So yeah, I finished watching Sleepy Hollow. I forgot that they make Johnny Depp and Christina Ricci's characters like love interests, which I find very weird, as especially now watching it as an adult. I don't think I've watched it since I was like a teenager, but watching it now as an adult, I'm like, isn't Christina Ricci like 20 years old? And then like Johnny Depp, and Johnny Depp's character is like 35. I'm like, I'm 32. That's like me kissing like a 17-year-old. That's weird. That's weird. That's weird. Anyway, that made me feel uncomfortable. But the film is fine, you know, it's perfect at this kind of time of year, spooky season, you know, whatever. I'm probably not going to watch it again anytime soon. But now I'm watching a film called It's What's Inside, I think is what it's called. It's on Netflix. It's like a comedy thriller sort of vibe. It's been on my list for a little while, but my bestie watched it the other day and she said it was really good. So I'm going to start watching that. Not sure if I'm going to be able to finish watching the whole thing by the time my partner finishes work and it's time for cleaning day. But I will try and watch as much as I can. And then I'm just gonna, the plan is seam up this side and then work on the sleeves, basically. I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed. I'm really looking forward to kind of getting this finished now that I can see the kind of final vision and it's looking real cute. I'm excited. Good morning. It is a new day. I actually forgot to kind of check in yesterday evening. So my partner basically finished work and then we had some dinner. We did not do cleaning day. We were both just not in the mood for it. So we were like, we have a free weekend. Let's just do it on the weekend. There is no rush. But I figured, let's keep this party going. Today is Saturday, but this is like the first Saturday in ages where I haven't had any plans or I haven't had anything I have to do. So I'm planning on having like a super chill, very chill weekend. I have minimal chores to do apart from cleaning day, which honestly is not a lot. I've got some laundry to do and obviously I've got some crocheting to do. The rest of the evening I just chilled out with my partner. I did some more crocheting. I was working on the sleeves of my like Damson Madder inspired top and we actually ended up watching Scream, which is great because I was talking about how I wanted to start watching it and my partner actually suggested it because he wanted to watch a scary film and we couldn't quite decide. There was nothing that he was really vibing with and he was like, you know what, let's watch Scream. And I was like, what? You know when somebody says something and you're like you don't want to spook them? So I was just like, sure, okay, and then went to the DVDs to go put it on because I was like, if I show how excited I am, I don't want to scare him off, you know. Not that it would, but that was just kind of my thought process. But we ended up watching Scream. Obviously great film, thoroughly enjoyed it, and I had to pause it every 5 seconds to give my partner some lore on the film and be like, did you know? Because it is one of my special interests and I do love that movie. So I'm really glad that we've got to watch it together and hopefully he'll be down to watching the rest with me, as in Scream 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. But yeah, so I am doing nothing today. I have a load of laundry on, which I swear I'm always doing fucking laundry. They don't tell you about that when you become an adult, that you will always have laundry to do, but I have a load of laundry on. I need to put some laundry away and I am doing nothing else today. I'm crocheting, that is it. I'm maybe gonna go to the shop to get myself some treats. That is about it. I am very much a homebody. I am very much somebody who loves the comfort of my own home. So I'm going to relish in it, you know? Also, look at this cardigan. I crocheted this last year, I want to say. It's a really beautiful yarn and these are all African flower granny squares. I love this cardigan. The colour palette is just so fun. I love greens and I love purples and pinks together. I think they're such a fun color palette and like each square is just like so unique, you know. Oh, I love it so much. And I did these kind of like arm warmer sleeves mainly because I ran out of this yarn but I think it looks really good. It's one of my favorite cardigans to just like throw on an outfit in the autumn and winter. But anyway, I digress. I'm gonna kind of get cracking on with my day and I will most likely check in with you guys at some point. Yarn so much that I'm like, okay, I'll do this, I'll get some yarn for me, I'll get some yarn for you. So that way like you kind of get a good idea of what yarn there is for Halloween, right? So like I tried to use like the sock weight yarn, like I don't make socks, I'm not gonna crochet a sock, that's gonna take way too long. Anyways, Hobie sent school Halloween from like my childhood. This one's called Halloween Horizon. I love the yarn, it's just going everywhere. I really want to get 100% acrylic. It is a light 3. Sister did say that if I did not use all
With all due respect, the killer obviously patterned himself after 2 serial killers who have been immortalized on film.
Thank you. Are you suggesting that someone's trying to make a real-life sequel?
That too? Who would do that? Sequels suck. No.
Okay, so it's about 6:30. We have had a really chill day today. I've just had a lovely day, just chillaxing with my partner. We haven't really done much. Like, I did some laundry, he did a few little bits that he needed to do, and then he was playing some video games, I was watching a movie and crocheting, and then we went out into town for a little bit to get us some snacks and just to kind of walk around a little bit, and it was just nice and relaxed. And now my partner's gonna go make dinner. I'm currently watching Scream 2, because once I've started watching a Scream movie I have to continue and watch all of them, so I'm watching Scream 2, and then we'll probably I don't know, chill for the rest of the evening, basically do what we've been doing all day. So I personally think I've had a great day. It's been very nice, very relaxed, and I'll show you kind of my progress with my top, because I think I finished one sleeve already. So this is sleeve number 1, and I say the reason why I say think is because I'm currently working on the second sleeve, and I'm not too far from kind of doing the same number of rows as I did on this side, but I had more yarn to work with on this side than I did on this side. Like, I basically just stopped when this yarn finished, so I'll see kind of how much yarn I have left, because after the sleeves there's not really anything I'll need this for. Everything's seamed up. I might just do like 1 row around the neckline, so it's a bit easier for me to add the kind of faux mohair yarn, but I don't think I need this yarn for anything else, so I can essentially like use it all up on the sleeve. Yeah, I think it's looking really good. I'm gonna do a little try on as well. Here is the top currently. I actually love this. I'm really like, wow, this has turned out so good, and it fits me so nicely. So this is the sleeve that I've already done, and then this is the sleeve that I think I've got maybe like 3-4 more rows to do, so you can kind of tell they're a little bit lopsided. But in terms of the length, even if I don't add any more to it, I think this is fine. I would think I would like it just a tiny bit longer, maybe like two or three rows more, and then I'll obviously kind of match it to this one. I think that will kind of cover the amount of yarn that I have left. But I really like this top. The only thing I'm a little unsure about is that I don't know if this is maybe a bit too long, and I think especially when I add the collar, I'm probably maybe going to do like 2 or 3 rows, so it's kind of the width of my shoulders, which will probably come to about here. Kind of, that's how big the collar will be. But I think with the collar and like relatively big collar and this, it might be a bit much. So what I'm thinking is just kind of undoing maybe about like 3 rows. I think that might be a little bit better, because as much as I want the ruffled edge, I don't want it to kind of look like the start of a skirt almost. So I think lengthwise this might look a bit better with the collar. But regardless, I'll leave this on for now as it is, and then I'll obviously finish the sleeves, do the collar, and then I can kind of see how I feel about the bottom bit, because it might even be that I just don't want this at all once I have the collar on, so we shall see. But I really love it. I think this is really nice. It fits my body really nicely, like it particularly over my bust as well. I'm really impressed with how this is going, and the yarn feels so lovely and soft. Like, it is a merino wool, and the bottom part is a wool as well. It just feels so nice and soft. Like, sometimes I'm like, I should really kind of invest in getting nicer yarn rather than just always acrylic, which, you know, obviously acrylic has its merits for sure, but sometimes I am like, I should treat myself a little bit more. But yeah, I really like it. I think it's really fun. What do you think? Let me know in the comments, because I feel like I've never really done anything like this. I don't really see crochet tops like this either, so I'm gonna say goodbye from here. Me and my partner are just gonna chill out for the rest of the evening. He's currently making us dinner, and I'm just gonna continue working on this top, the sleeves, the neckline, you know, all of the rest of it. And I reckon hopefully I should have it finished in the next couple of days, which I'm very excited about. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out for the past few days. You got a bonus day with me. If you enjoy kind of crochet content and vlogs, feel free to subscribe to my channel. Obviously, if you enjoyed this video, leave me a little thumbs up and drop me a comment, and I would love to connect with you guys. If you want to follow me on TikTok or on Instagram, my @ are down below, but it is @NotHalfBadCrochet. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I'll hopefully see you on the next one.